fans are scared of me.
These damn Cowboy fans are behind me. Y'all remember this? I know I do. Last time the Dallas Cowboys won anything, you had an afro.
There you go.
What can go wrong will go wrong. You lucky I took time out of my schedule to be here. Y'all don't win nothing.
When you go to history, let's go into history. Don't just go to your history. Let's go to the history.
This man is working so hard, I think his health is in jeopardy.
Don't worry about no damn Cowboy fans. They don't matter.
I reckon we're going to have a very, very good time.
Stephen A., you're wild. The NFL season is here. The Cowboys open up against the Giants in Texas. First Take is in Arlington, kicking off the season at Texas Live. Going to be a lot of fun. That is Friday, September 6th. Doors open at 7:30 a.m., so come see First Take live in Dallas. But right now, where are we, Stephen A.?
We in Queens.
Yes, Queens.
Queens
Your
is
hometown.
in the building. Queens is in the house.
In case you wonder what all this means, he's funky fresh from Hollis, Queens.
Okay, I got
Something
it.
like that.
We're coming to you live from Flushing Meadows, the 51st U.S. Open, the final major of the tennis season. How about a little football, guys? Patriots wide receiver Josh Gordon returned to the field last night and was greeted with a very warm welcome from the Foxborough faithful. Gordon caught 2 passes for 30 yards. The receiver had his indefinite suspension lifted by Commissioner Roger Goodell on August 16th. Someone who knows about Super Bowl rings and the New England Patriots joining us now. Damian Woody, hello.
Stephen A. What? No
What's
coat
up, man?
again, huh? What?
Man,
got
it's
no
hot out
shoes
here.
on?
Don't talk
What's
with
the
me.
deal?
You in
I
the
done
AC.
told you
You in the
before
AC
about
building.
wearing those shoes,
You in the
man.
AC.
You
Oh,
know
please,
better.
stop it,
Oh,
please.
you
You
US
with your,
Open, now you feel
your
like you can
AC,
just dress
you
it
got
the
the
way you
AC
want.
going on, you got your blazer, all right? Lord knows what you wearing. Lord knows what
I'm
you
on
wearing.
Stephen A's side with this one, big fella. Big as you are, you might get heat
Come
stroke
on
out here in
now.
a jacket.
Man,
you can't
Max,
tell us
let me
about
tell you
not wearing
something, brother.
jackets.
Ain't nothing smoother than a big brother out here. Let me tell you that.
Big Smooth. That's what we're going to call you now, Big Smooth, right?
Oh, my
Let's go.
You all are hilarious.
Ain't going to catch him by the tennis court. Go ahead.
What was your reaction to how the fans greeted Josh Gordon?
You know, I'm glad Max and Damian are on this segment with me because I want to be very clear. I'm probably in the minority here. I wasn't happy about it. I don't root against Josh Gordon by any stretch of the imagination. You know, all our prayers should be with him. We should wish him well. And I'm quite sure that's what the fans were doing in defense of the fans' ovation to him, Max, Damian. But my whole point is this, and I've said it, and I don't say it in a maligning, insulting kind of way. I'm speaking reality. He's an addict. Mm-hmm. It's a challenge. Marijuana use.
It's a disease.
Far more significant drugs. Supposedly he's entertained, alcohol, etc. And it's led to him having a highly unproductive professional career. He played all 16 games his rookie year after messing up at Baylor, where he had an opportunity to be RG3's teammate, and at the RG3. But I'm just saying, when you look at his history, and it's all been chronicled, so I'm not gonna throw salt on that wound. I don't need to regurgitate those things. But chance after chance after chance after chance after chance has been given to this young man. And he has messed up. Now, he's messed up because he's an addict, and I understand that. But when you're cheering him on, you're rooting for him, but in the same breath, he's been cheered on before. How much does that help? That's helped him come back.
Yeah.
It didn't help him stay. You understand? Somehow, some way, at some point in time, tough love's required.
Chris Carter talks about that a lot with this subject.
That's right. And Chris Carter is the best guy in football to talk about this subject with all the things that he's overcome. And that's my man. I'm very proud of Chris Carter. But I'm just simply saying, I'm not trying to be hardcore. I just think that the priority should be cheering Josh Gordon on for a better life, not cheering him on to be a football player, because he has clearly missed a boat on that. He has messed up entirely too many times for me to applaud him in a football uniform.
I'll cheer Josh Gordon. If he relapses and he gets back on the field, I'll cheer him again. If he relapses after that, gets back on the field, I'll cheer him again. My understanding of what addicts struggle with is that it's not like one day, I used to be an alcoholic or something like that. That's what you are. You have to deal with that every day. The mistake is people are like, I'm never going to do it again. You don't know that. What you can do is say, I'm not going to do it today. And you know what? Today or yesterday was a good day for Josh Gordon. Ostensibly, he wasn't using that day and hadn't used enough of those days that now he's back on the field. So I will applaud that every time. And it's not about tough love or soft love or whatever that is. It's just about being happy for a dude who's struggling better now than he was then. There are no guarantees about the future. You don't have a crystal ball. I agree. He keeps relapsing. But even then, some people are in so much pain. They anesthetize the pain one way or another, and with illegal drugs, whatever, or with narcotics of some kind or another. That's, to me, from where I'm sitting, pretty clearly what's going on with him. I feel for him for his pain. I hope he's able to deal with it better than he has in the past. I'm glad that right now he seems to be dealing with it better. I hope in the future that will continue. I'll applaud him every time. By the way, provided the person he's hurting is himself and no one else.
That's where I was going, but I'll let Damian speak first. Go ahead, Damian.
Yeah, from a fan perspective, you can understand because, fan is short of fanatic. And I think any team with a player in a particular situation that could probably add value to to the organization, fans are going to obviously cheer them on. I think my biggest question is, in the long run, what is football doing to help Josh Gordon in his sobriety and moving forward past the game of football? We've seen, Josh Gordon hasn't had a full season, I believe, since 2013. Okay, that's a long time. That's a long time to be in the National Football League, and last time you played a full season was in 2013. And so for me, I'm not worried about the football. I'm worried about the long term after the game because he has so much life to live. How is the game helping him dealing with the issues that he has? I don't know what personal demons that he's dealing with, but I'm not sure if the game of football is necessarily helping those personal demons that he's dealing with.
Well, let me say this, and I want to say this to both you and Max, because it's very important that I get this off my chest. I don't root against anybody, especially as somebody in Josh Gordon's position. I pray for him, to be quite honest with you, and anybody in that kind of situation, hoping that they get themselves right. But when you mess up time and time and time again, I get tired of people assuming that it's yourself you hurt. You know what? There are bodies that lie in your wake when you do the kind of things that he has done to himself. Loved ones, mentors, beyond, people who have invested their time, energy, and love in this man, and people who depended on him, and somehow, some way, he has let them down. And all I'm saying is, along the way of wishing him well, along the way of hoping that he gets himself straight, not just with football, as Chris Carter would say, but life. Along the process of doing all of those things, keep in mind that a lot of times when people find themselves in this situation, there's a lot of heartache that they spread around to people in their inner circle. And somehow, some way, that gets lost in the shuffle. If you're just hurting yourself, it's easy to root for somebody to overcome
Let
that.
me address
but
that.
when you hurt other people, that matters.
I think that's an important point. Let me address that. Because as I've gotten older, I think differently about this. If you have kids, that's a separate thing. You are literally responsible for your children.
Sure.
But even then, what I notice about people in Josh Gordon's situation, if they try to do it for someone else because they feel responsible to other people, that doesn't work. What seems to work is they got to get over hating themselves. They got to be right with themselves. And if they get right with themselves, they're able to do for themselves. So sometimes I know what you mean, because the reality is you are responsible in various ways for other people in your life. That's the reality of living in a community, of having family. But particularly athletes who come from impoverished circumstances and are kind of taking a generation, if not a family, with them, right, out of certain circumstances. But really, that to me is not the argument. The argument is, like, he is responsible for himself.
Well,
if he gets right with himself, good for him. I don't think the sense that of guilt for responsibility for others works in this situation.
The operative two words are to you. To me, it's a little bit different because I'm not, listen, I haven't had that issue in my immediate family, but in my family, there has been people who abuse drugs. And I know the kind of collateral damage they have caused. And I'm telling you, I'm speaking from personal experience because my mother was an aunt, to various folks and what have you. They know the damage that they wreak through my family because of the things. I take it very seriously, and it's not like I'm devoid of compassion or anything like that. But I don't just think about the person who's the addict. I think about the lives the addict affects too.
Damian, we'll give you the last word here.
I think this whole thing, doesn't it speak to the bigger issue in sports? When you have the type of talent that Josh Gordon has, and we've seen other athletes, you're going to get more opportunities. I mean, listen, if Josh Gordon wasn't who he is as an athlete, as a football player, how many opportunities do you think he would get in this particular situation? Again, you spoke on it. He's had opportunities time and time and time again that wouldn't be afforded to a lot of other guys that are playing this game because, quite honestly, what he could bring to the team, to the organization.
But pretty soon, time's going to be up. I mean, we see this with athletes who've been addicts and who've used and relapsed. It feels like they have forever because they're so good. And one day it's like, no, the talent's not worth it anymore. So that, to me, that's even more urgency. When I see him back on the field, good for you.
Yeah.
You know?
And what Jimmy V say on this very network, don't ever give up, right? Everybody's battling something. Stay strong. So anyone at home, not to get too serious, but keep pushing through. Damian, we so appreciate you. We will see you on NFL Live a little later today.
All right, big boy.
Thank
All right,
you.
now, y'all take it easy.
Okay. When First Take continues here from the U.S. Open, which quarterback does Stephen A. think is under the most pressure in the NFC North? And it's our friend Tim Tebow back for another college football season. You don't want to miss who's on his Heisman radar. More debate coming up.